Hey.
What's
going on?
How are you doing? Long time no see. Well, actually, I don't think we've ever seen.
No, this is the first time we've interviewed Tyler.
First time.
Talked to you. But
we talked to Tyler a million times.
Yeah.
We've said hi.
Hi plenty of times.
Yeah.
Hi.
So, hello, Stephen P. Kitty Cat or Crimson Meerkat. We don't know. It could be Carl even. I don't know. Hello, Roxanne. Hello, Calvin.
Roxanne.
Jennifer, I know you're super stoked on this one. She's a huge October Noir fan right here.
Oh, yeah.
And hello, Carrie. Hello.
Hey, Calvin.
I said hi to Calvin.
Oh, I just said hi, Calvin.
I didn't skip over him or anything like that. Hey, Angie. All right, now that we've got the pleasantries out of the way thus far, of course, I will just squirrel out sometimes and be like, "Hey!" So, all right. So, as many of you know, we have spoken to the band October Noir a few times.
A couple times, yeah. A couple times with Tom and Doug. Retro, Raggy, what? Oh.
I don't know, Retro.
I don't know. I wouldn't get too distracted by comments right now. We're trying to have an intro right now.
But again, as many of you know, that we have gotten the opportunity to talk to October Noir a few times. And hi, Estrella, love you. But one thing that we haven't had the chance to do is talk to Tyler. And that was because it was kind of so the first time, it was almost a bit of a different dynamic, really. And the second time, you were around, but you weren't able to make it into the interview.
That was the second. The second time was when we were trying to get the new song uploaded. For some odd reason, we couldn't get it to work.
He was there.
Yeah,
but he wasn't. He wasn't there.
We were all dressed up too. I had my mask on and all that stuff, and I was getting ready to throw my phone and everything against the wall in the middle because I was like, we could not get the music to work at all for some odd reason. It would not upload or anything.
Oh, it was funny. We were doing video editing while live. And you were in the comments on that one, which was
I was there.
Pretty funny. But we haven't had the opportunity to sit down with you. So, guys, this is Tyler. He is from October Noir. He's the drummer, right? And also, you do the Noir Hour.
Yeah, that's something that's recently come about since July. Nice. So how that happened is, there's a lot of internet radio stations everywhere, and there was one in particular that played us every single week. It was like every single Sunday, and every single Sunday I was always free. So I would, they have a chat room, and I would hang out in there and kind of listen to it. And I built like a rapport with them, and, I was enjoying their stuff. It's a Sunday afternoon, so I'm around the house and cutting grass and kind of, making food and just kind of relaxing. And it was a real relaxing atmosphere. So I was like, well, and they started talking to me gradually, and they, they're a small, it's a small station, and they said, hey, we would love for you to come on. Have you ever thought about doing radio? And I said, fuck no. No, I've never thought about doing radio. I'm from January to now, I'm like a totally different person because I was always, very recluse. I'm, and I'm still kind of that way. I'm kind of breaking out of that. But so I think it was right after the 4th of July was my first show that I did. And I bought all the equipment, and which wasn't terribly expensive because I'm a big eBay bargain shopper, but I got all my stuff, and there it was. And I found myself really enjoying it. We, there was a time in the year where we were taking a break as a band just to focus on some things. And so it was kind of like my muse in a way. I get to play what I want, if I was listening to a radio station, I would be listening to my own because it's all my favorite stuff. So yeah, that's how that started. And I've been doing it for, I guess, 14 or 15 episodes now. So it's
nice.
It's pretty cool. It's,
before you know it, it's going to be, you'll be like, oh, 14, 15 episodes. Before you know it, you're like 200, 300. Wow.
Right? Where'd they go?
Well, I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I know a lot of really cool people. Yeah, and so I was like, well, shit, what if I do interviews on it? And that led to doing interviews, and that led to rolling the interview over to YouTube. And I mean, I've had, I haven't had huge success, but I've had a lot of fun doing it.
That's the whole point, man.
Yeah. And, and I'm always hopeful, like, oh, maybe I'll get, this person or that person, and I'll really shoot off. But it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I must be a glutton for punishment because it's just every single second of my free time is spent on something. So
It's always running in the back of my head with this stuff.
That's
always,
what we always do.
always listening. For me, I'm always, because I do all the most of the research and put everything together. And then Aka here does the other half of the research and then reads everything. I said most, I'm sorry. But it's always, listening to podcasts and listening to whatever. And then like, oh, we should cover this guy, that guy, or whatnot,
Yeah.
I mean, I found one the other day that just disgusted me. And I was like, we should cover him.
That's how it always goes with us.
I'm not even going to say his name at the moment, just because, it's not going to be for another couple of weeks that he even comes up. But he's somewhat local, and I didn't know about him, and I read about him, and I was like, this guy is horrific. Hey, babe, we got to talk about him.
It's always that. It's
oh my God, I can't believe. Did he?
5 hours of research later, we're talking about this guy.
Yeah, so I mean,
he had sex with a dead horse. What?
That's interesting.
How do you hold down two ostriches? How would you have sex with an ostrich? I guess if it was a sick ostrich, maybe it's got to take at least two people. But I mean,
yeah, somebody's got to hold that thing down.
So Angie says, "Love the guitars on the wall, Tyler."
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, typically when I'm doing my interviews, I got about this much of me, so now I've got more. There's a lot of shit going on in here.
That's basically what we ended up doing. We used to have like this thing encompassing us, and
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I was like, one day, he wasn't home, and I'm too short to put everything up, and I couldn't find the step ladder, so I was like, screw it. I just put all of these posters everywhere and went live, and we've done that since. So.
Well, I've got a bad problem with being just like a poster junkie, autograph junkie. I mean, I love it. I love it. And I've been going to a lot of shows lately and getting to meet the bands that I'm like, I never thought I would. I got backstage to see Korn not too long ago.
Nice.
And we were playing cornhole with the Korn and Amy Lee from Evanescence. I'm like,
that's so
those
cool.
pics.
I'm like, what is happening right now? And
they're from here. They're from here.
They're from Bakersfield.
Yeah.
I delivered pizza.
It's going to be hard to ever beat that one. I got to tell you. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. When I got an answer for the apparently how to fuck an ostrich.
Hip waders and Velcro.
Hip waders and Velcro.
Oh god.
Wait, that's sheep. Wouldn't work for ostrich. Carry on.
Yeah, I'm staying away from the chat on that one.
We got derpy wave to all. So you had mentioned that you guys were taking a break. I kind of wanted to ask questions about this because I personally had a minor freak out moment.
Yeah, you and about 1,000 other people. I
understand it was a complete
I had to buy a new phone after that.
Oh God. But, no, I totally understand that it was a complete misunderstanding that like most of us simply read things wrong.
Right.
Like we just saw a couple words and flipped out. Like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah, that was my biggest fear. That was my biggest fear. We were going to stay quiet on it. I mean, we were all kind of uncertain about, some things, but yeah, Doug had mentioned that, he wanted to kind of get it off of his chest, and and I was worried that it would come out, that people would interpret it in a different way, and they definitely did.
But I
So
see everyone's view on it. Honestly, I see
yeah,
why he would want to get that off
yeah,
his chest.
absolutely,
Definitely.
yeah,
And then, of course, there was me, and I know Jennifer in particular. We were both going back and forth, like, what the fuck is going on?
oh yeah,
Like, 'cause, like I said, she's a big fan. Uh,
Well, what had happened is we were pushing so hard, and it was just everything was nonstop, and we just Tom kind of needed a break. That we all when you're doing anything, it takes a lot. It takes a lot away from your personal life, and personal life tends to really suffer, and
mhm.
sometimes severely. So that was kind of what that was about, and we could have said nothing and been just fine, but it is what it is. During this time, we've been writing a new album, and we've been really focusing on that
I'm super
because I mean,
stoked about that.
we're kind of at the point where we can't really hop on a tour, just
Mhm.
hop and go at the moment. And
Yeah.
and I don't think that we necessarily would do that unless it was just too good to pass up. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we have our own lives outside of the band, and I know that's hard for people to. Hell, it's hard for me to say that sometimes because it just doesn't seem that way. It's always like you said, it's always on your mind. But we've
Mhm.
just been kind of taking that downtime to really get some things straightened out with
Yeah.
ourselves uh, and writing music. And
And,
we
I mean,
just
people need
released.
to realize that.
Well, it's hard. I mean, it's hard for me to come to the realization, like, yeah, we do need to kind of, we need to sit down and kind of chill out for a little while. But
Yeah.
it's been great actually to kind of like cleanse the palate, I guess, and really
Yeah.
step back and write. Tom is writing like some amazing, amazing shit. I don't know how he does it. I ask him all the time. We'll be texting, and he'll be sending me paragraphs, and it sounds like a song. I mean, I'm so envious of that guy because I've never been the lyricist, and he is somewhat of a poet, I suppose.
I mean,
The,
you're right. The way that he talks in general, like it's smooth. I don't know how else to put that.
Yeah,
It's smooth, and it flows nicely. Whereas somebody like me, and I mean, I'm just gonna assume you as well.
yeah,
We're a little bit everywhere with how we talk, and me more so. And so
yeah,
it doesn't flow as well, at least out of my mouth. I'm not poetic. I'm not. I just talk.
I'll
yeah.
say it. He
I
gets
seem to try to talk as little as possible most times, but
well, when he
I'm
talks, he gets the for the ladies, he gets the moisture in the panties. I hate to say it that way, but he's got
yeah,
that voice. He really does.
yeah,
you know.
he
So
does.
a great story that I guess we're both gonna have to tell at the same time here. Um, so one night we were hanging out and having a couple beers or whatever, and I walked out of the room for it couldn't have been more than 2 minutes, and I come back to this guy crying,
I wasn't just crying.
sobbing,
I was freaking.
and
I was.
declaring that Peter Steele was not dead. Um, like no joke,
Yeah,
just streaming tears. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
It was
it was the
really.
cover of Cry Little Sister.
Was that then going delving deeper into it and actually listening to your guys' songs and actually stuff like that and hearing that it wasn't, and I brought this the first time I really talked to Tom. I did bring this up to him. I was like, it wasn't just that, hey, you guys did a couple cool covers. It was carrying the torch and moving further and doing your own thing,
Yeah.
with it, and actually encompassing and evolving from a love of the same band, type of negative and stuff like that that we have that we have and everything. And I was like, this is amazing. I was like, and to hear
And then
new
morphing.
new music being written, and
yeah,
then being yourselves, you know, and just moving forward. It was so cool to hear stuff like that, you know.
And
Yeah.
I just thought it was great because like, and then we hit you guys up, and now we have had the coolest opportunity to know you guys, to talk to you guys, to this right here, this.
Yeah, well, that's cool for me too. I'm a fan of y'all's as well. I really enjoy the serial killer talks.
Oh well, thank you.
But yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I was a fan of this band first before anything. Me and Tom, we're obviously in the same area, and I was in another band, and he just, it was time for a new drummer, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's where I stepped in. And yeah, the first time I met him, I was like, I was just kind of starstruck, because I had been listening, and I'm like, holy shit, this is something.
The
It's
professional the
yeah,
professionalism from you guys is amazing. To see that, you know, you starting off from just you know, only being a couple years old, and to see that type of professionalism and actually just how you guys just meld and just come together so well. You know, it's absolutely amazing to watch.
And even being that you were, I mean, out of everybody, the newer one in the band, you mesh really well.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, I think so as well. Well, me and Tom, we have a lot in common, especially when it comes to taste and music. Um, I can say a obscure song or whatever, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about and what album it was off of. So that really does help the dynamics. We know when we're writing, it's just throwing stuff back and forth, and it's always successful. It's like everything that comes out is good, and we'll take a piece from here or there and mesh it in. I'm really excited. There's at least 3 or 4 songs that are done for the new album, or almost done.
Fangirl moment.
Yeah, yeah, and the single that we just put out a few weeks ago is doing really well, which I love it. I think it's some of the best stuff that's ever come out of this band. So
Yeah.
Ask questions. I gotta type something.
Oh, you put me on the spot. What the? I was just listening for a second. You're talking about like you know, past influences, and what were like musically some of your past influences like that really got you like as a kid to get into this, to the I don't for me for like the metal scene and stuff like that, you
right.
know. So
Well, I mean, when I was younger, I was an emo kid, so I listened to emo all the time. Bayside, Silverstein, The Used, stuff like
Okay, the
that.
used I got you on. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that was my shit. Silverstein was like my favorite band. But, I mean, I I was late to music because I was late to the internet. I mean, I got my first computer when I was a senior in high school, so I was 2009.
oh wow,
So
you
as
guys
soon as I got that computer, I dove into music and, found The Cure and found all these other bands. I mean, I think I,
Cure's
found
amazing.
Typo Negative and found him as my favorite band.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, yeah, I can't tell
can
you how
see
much I
that.
paid for that poster. It's like it's off of their very first tour, and
I see a
I paid.
few.
Do
Yeah,
you have a heartogram tattoo?
I don't.
I'm just
I don't. Not yet. I've always wanted one. I kind of
I've
have an
seen some
addictive
pretty cool.
personality, so I feel like if I start, if I get a tattoo, I'll never stop, and it'll just be insane.
That's part
it's
of
a good
my
thing
problem.
it's a good thing to be addicted to, though. That if you're going to be
Yeah.
addicted to something, is
I
tattoos.
the only reason why I am not absolutely covered is I'm broke. So, because I want this all covered, I want these all covered. So yeah, no, I get it.
Well, I've got enough bad habits. I figure I might as well just kind of hold off on that as long as I can and just do the Zach Wild thing forever. Hopefully.
I think Zach Wild has a real. Doesn't he have the what is where he had the blood clot medicine he's on? There was a story he can't drink anymore because of
Oh
it. The
yeah.
doctor,
Yeah.
straight up, he can bleed out like
Right.
fast.
Jeez.
And the dude, I'm not the biggest Zach Wild fan, but musically, like, but when it comes to him, his work
He's a
ethic,
nice guy.
Right.
he's a great guy. But his I saw a picture of him, and this was like well after he was taking the meds for the blood clots and everything. He cut himself on his fingers, and he's just bleeding all over his guitar while he's shredding, man. And like he did a whole show like that, didn't stop. He's just a freaking rock star about it.
Awesome work ethic.
Yeah, I got to meet him in 2019, and it was just like the coolest thing. I'm a real big fan of his solo work. You know,
Book of Shadows and everything like that.
The Book of Shadows is the all-time great.
I do like that album. I got that. My buddy got it back in. He saw Zakk Wylde doing his Book of Shadows. Man, it was 96.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah,
96. I was probably 5 years old.
I'm old. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, well, I was born too late. I wish I was born earlier so I could have seen all that cool shit that I missed out on.
I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, I'm probably okay. You said you were how old?
31.
Okay, I'm 5 years older than you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I still have that gap of things that I completely missed that I wish I had the opportunity to see.
Yeah.
You know. But
I'm doing my best to make up for it now and not miss anything and just do everything I can.
So I have a question. If you had like a dream lineup that you can play with, we asked this to Tom and he had no clue. Like he had no answer. Now, okay, so there are no real stipulations on this. This could be people that are dead, bands that are no longer around. If there was a dream lineup for you to play with, like, what would it be?
Do I have to go in? Do I have to go in order of who opens and closes?
No, totally not.
It would probably be The Cure, him, Typo, and Us.
Nice,
badass show.
I would
be a badass show.
I would so see that show. I have been begging Tom to get you guys out here to California. Yeah. Like begging, and he was like, I'm not sure, like this is a while ago, last time we talked, but he's like, I'm not sure. I'm like, believe me, if you guys came out here, like you'd blow up on the West Coast too.
California is one of those spots that it's we were discussing earlier.
Right. Awesome lineup.
That is, business wise, it's difficult to get started out, but with the touring and with like festivals and stuff like that, it's great to get out here because everything is so close. Everything is if we're an hour and a half away from Hollywood right now, and that's even like beating LA traffic. It's just so tight knit and it's easy to get around, and you have so many venues. I mean, there's 13 million people in LA County alone, so it's just a huge place for huge opportunities for bands and stuff.
We're a bunch of whippersnappers.
Yeah.
Calvin is our dad. Mostly because he found out he's the same age as my dad. And also Roxanne has a heartogram tattoo.
Oh, that's rad.
So you may have also answered this. I know that you had like influences as far as like, which we already answered. Like,
right.
My brain just stopped. My brain stopped. Where was I going with that?
You should be speaking into the mic.
No. You know what? Let's go to commercial, and I will end the brain fart. Okay? The brain fart will go away after commercial. We'll be right back.
Well, gentlemen, perhaps we wouldn't be where we are today if we hadn't said to ourselves, just go, 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 go for it.
This final score for this film, we're going to give it 3 paws out of 4.
Nuestra Señora de la Santa Muerte, Spanish for Our Lady of the Holy Death.
Out now!
Oh, not sex and violence!
Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Akath,
And I'm pre-sexist Diamond.
and we are Roots Bleed Red on Psycho Bunny Death Cult.
Aha!
In fact, humans have a very long history of eating each other.
So lock your doors, turn out your lights, and join us for Cool Radio.
Hello, all you beautiful people out there. It's your boy Slippy. And when I'm not guzzling down gallons and gallons of amazing ice cream, yes, oh, I love ice cream. Oh, hang on. I'm watching PBDC TV. Now, back to the show, all you beautiful people. And remember, stay nasty.
And we're back.
And we're back. Gotta love Slippy, man. Gotta love Slippy. Calvin says the low tonight is supposed to be around 29 degrees. I'm jealous.
Oh, I wish.
So there's a question. What's the weather like out there? I heard it's very pollinated and bad.
I think it's like 75 right now. I think it was 90 today. It's hot as hell today.
That's how it was here.
Nadine!
I had to change a battery out today. My car died this morning. And I was like, oh, okay, got to go buy a battery. So we went and bought a battery and replaced that. And that's what I was doing most of the day. Then we went and worked out for a while.
I'm really sore. And then we ate like crap.
Yeah, I was playing drums today. I was practicing. I haven't practiced in a while. I've been so busy. And I can feel it right here. I was like, what's that?
Right there for me. Yep. I mean, I don't play drums, but I'm totally willing to take lessons.
I play drums terribly.
I can do. Yo, stop it.
Slowly.
Okay, so aside from the drums, what other instruments do you play? I mean, I'm assuming guitar.
Yeah, I started out playing guitar when I was young. Messing around with it. And I think if you play guitar, you always play bass too. So
that's. I started off with bass, guitar. I messed around with guitars here and there, but mostly bass for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've never been a great guitar player, but I've always played. So.
Nice.
Which which is fun. Like some local bands around in town. Last year, I filled in for a bunch of bands on bass and guitar here and there. They had big shows coming up and a member dropped out. So I was like, I'll do it. And I don't know. It's kind of just second nature at this point. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. I can just pick it up pretty easy.
Wait, we got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you sneak into a secret room, pump the amp up to 11, and go crazy on that flying V?
Every now and then I will crank it up, but
Crank
not
to
as often
11.
lately.
Oh.
Oh.
Nadine also says, I've got a zombie zipline tomorrow, and I'm going to see L7 live on Sunday. So excited.
Oh.
Nice. So, you guys said that you've been working on new music. I saw the single that came out. That's what I got to put back up.
You
Guys,
took the banner down.
banner back up.
There you go.
Go ahead, head on over to October Noir on Facebook, but also it's www.octobernoir.org. Remember that. And there's also the Noir Hour, which Tyler's on.
Yeah. Yeah. I keep all that on Facebook so people can, check it out and follow it as they want. But
nice. So you guys had a new single come out.
yeah.
And I had the opportunity to listen to it and I loved it.
Yeah, me too. I've heard it a bunch.
I know you've heard it a bunch. I hope you've heard it a bunch.
I have.
What? Okay. So what kind of aspect do you have in the creation process? Because I know Tom does the lyrics and does a lot of the organization of it. But as a drummer, I mean, your percussion, you keep the beat. You have to drive the song. So
yeah. Well, usually how we write is Tom will come up with an idea, lyrics, usually lyrics, and he'll kind of track out the guitars, and he'll throw down like just a scratch drum track, and I'll listen to it and really think about it and dissect it and come and get over to our studio and kind of just lay it down and nail it out. Sometimes it's not as easy as others because there's so many things that I can do, but big on letting this music just really, letting all the instruments just speak for the music and not trying to get too crazy or too wild. This music is very different from a lot of bands. It's very personal and intimate, and I mean, it's the same feeling as you get when you listen to Typo Negative. And when you hear Tom, it's kind of he is the reincarnate aspect.
yes,
he is.
I know he hates it sometimes.
He does.
But I can't help it because that is originally what drew us to him. And we love hearing the originality that's coming out of you guys. We really do. But his voice, it's hauntingly like Peter Steele.
Yeah. Well, he says all the time that he could play in a punk rock band and they would still make the comparison. So might as well
carnivore.
Yeah. Yeah. You might as well just do this music and serve it like we're doing.
Kelly says hi.
Hey.
Kelly Pesta.
Kelly.
So, I mean, yes. If he was in a full-on punk band, absolutely, he would still probably sound like him.
Yeah.
Because he cannot help it that he has that voice. I have a friend who sounds exactly like Tom Araya. And no matter what he does, he sounds exactly like Tom Araya.
Yeah. Does he look like him too?
A little bit. A little bit. Not so much, honestly, lately. I mean, because he decided to shave his head and everything like that, but he has some of the traits. But it's funny because some people in his band were giving him some crap, like, hey, you sound like Tom. You sound like Tom Araya.
You're also leaving something out about.
I am leaving something out on purpose. He was like, dude, I literally cannot help it. You can't help what you sound like. Stop it.
Well, in saying that, we do get a lot of hate.
Why?
We get a lot of hate because people think it's a gimmick. A lot of people think that we're just a gimmick and a cover band, and that
I can understand why Tom has an issue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we definitely get more love than hate but the hate is so severe sometimes, and it's funny to me because the music is so fucking good, and everything that comes out of this band is incredible. I mean, I can say that because I was a fan first. I just
Mhm.
got lucky enough to play the music that I really have always wanted to play with a group of guys that that it just flows well with. But
Yeah.
yeah, I see it all the time. But that's the funny thing is, we know people that knew Peter and knew the band, and they love it.
Mhm.
And there's so much support there. I don't. It doesn't
That's really
really
what
phase
matters.
me. Yeah, it doesn't phase me at all. I think it's hilarious. Um, People write paragraphs, just endless. It's just brutal, but
Internet Karens.
yeah, but it's so funny because who would spend that much time? Who would spend that
On
much
hate?
time to hate it so passionately?
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people out there. A
Oh,
lot of we on our end we get a lot of it too, and it's like you guys are really wasting this much time
and
focusing on
effort.
us when you guys could be focusing on your lives and everything else going in. Here
We actually have a lot of merch that came out of people hating us
Really?
and talking shit. And some of our best-selling merchandise has been people being rude and being just assholes to us.
Yeah.
And so honestly we end up thanking those people in the end because we're like, your hate ended up being such a big joke to us that we made these awesome shirts and mugs and people liked them.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny too that you can live rent free in somebody's mind.
Exactly.
It's
It's that
it's
damn
almost
voodoo.
it's almost like a gift in a way. I mean, you don't have to do anything at all. They can't stop thinking about it, and it's
I would
Mhm.
imagine
weird.
the
People
free,
are super fucked. Is all I know. But
Oh yeah.
it's just the free publicity from the people who hate you. It's like, dude,
absolutely,
all
I
you're
mean,
doing right now.
you can't
Oh, go
stop
ahead.
talking about it. They can't stop talking about it. So
I
And then
love it.
it turns into word of mouth, and then
Yeah.
it goes to one or two other people who are like,
And then people
I'm
are like,
gonna-
"Oh, I gotta go check them out.
I'm going to see what
Absolutely.
I'm going to see what
Who
this,
are these assholes?"
I'm going to see what this shitty band is sounding like. All of a sudden
Right.
they put it in there like, this band's amazing. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Kelly says, "Time to bring your asses back up here to New York."
yeah, yeah. We all went up there to New York, to Brooklyn actually. I get when
Nice.
was that? March, maybe April. We went up there as a band, and Kelly was our chauffeur around the town. We
That's
had a
cool.
lot of fun up there.
Nice. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. I mean, I know I said hi earlier, but I wanted to extra welcome there. Roxanne says, "Haters make you famous."
Yeah,
Damn right.
we'll see.
I mean, one of the oh god, I gotta get that in a second. One of the people that we were actually gonna throw a commercial on for in probably about 4 minutes. They have haters too, and they are thriving. Absolutely thriving. And we all sit around and laugh our asses off about it at this point.
Yeah,
You know. And Calvin says, "Love me, hate me, masturbate, screaming my name. That's all that counts."
that's right.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
This is why we love
Just
Calvin.
let that sink in for a little while.
Sven, hello, over in the Netherlands. Hello, yeah, let that one sink in for a little while. That might be a new shirt, guys.
Scream my name while you're masturbating, huh?
Love me, hate me, screaming, masturbate, screaming my name. There was a shirt that says "Gay or straight, we all masturbate."
That's very true.
Right, best shirt ever.
Except for Tipper Gore. Tipper Gore just wanted to.
Let's not even mention that horribleness. Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh no, sorry. I didn't mean. I was touching the side of your chair. I didn't mean to touch your side. I apologize.
Okay, so we're gonna go to another quick commercial, and when we get back, we will continue our fun chit chat. All right, we'll be right back.
This is Professor Edgar Fluffosaurus from Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat, and when I'm not hosting Monster Chat or knocking down small Japanese cities, I'm watching PBDC TV. Now back to the show.
All right. So, by the way, guys, we put a link to the new single in the chat.
To the YouTube.
Nice.
The YouTube.
So please go check it out, like it, share it, and make sure you smash that bell so you can get all the notifications from October Noir and stuff like that. And enjoy their awesome, amazing music that they have.
Like I said, we immediately fell in love with their music, and this is why we always want you guys on our shows. Like, you guys are awesome. You're down to earth. You're great musicians. Just amazing. And we love you guys.
Yeah. Well, actually, right before we started this, like, I don't know we started just about an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
We have announced that we're hitting the stage again.
Fuck yeah!
So,
where are you going to start the tour?
Well, we're just going to do a kind of a one-off show right now.
Okay.
So it's kind of a big deal for me and for us. I know it's been a long time since we've been on the stage, so
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I can't be out there. Although the sad part was we were totally going to be out there. Like next week.
Yeah.
a lot of things came up, and we
a lot of things came up, and we have another really cool opportunity as far as like going to haunts and stuff like that goes. So we're gonna take that opportunity for that, but next year we'll be out.
We are planning on doing a southern tour next year, which would be it's going to be amazing.
So yes. Oh, sorry.
For us, mostly it's just going around to the conventions and then setting up this and being like, oh, here you go, you guys get to watch us do a live show here and maybe be a part of it and stuff like that. It's nothing major.
Kelly says they are a great group of guys, and yes, so happy. And Kelly commenting brings up another question. Well, what did you guys do in New York? How did you like it up there?
Oh, it was awesome. It was cold. I loved it. I don't think I took my jacket off the entire time. We went up there.
Lucky.
It was the Peter Steele Memorial. It was like the Peter tree in the park.
Oh, I saw. Yes.
Yeah. So Tom and Doug had already bought their plane ticket, and I had decided like I'm not gonna go. It's kind of out of my wheelhouse, and I think I bought my ticket like a week before we left, and I wound up paying like $200 extra, but it was worth it. So we all went up there, and it was exciting. It was awesome to see New York. I mean, I had been to New York when I was a child, but I mean, you're a kid, you don't remember anything. And New York is so much bigger than, I mean, we're down in the South. It's just beaches and palm trees, and the place is huge. We had a great time. It was truly one of the coolest things I've ever done. I don't know if there could be a better, more, just a more fulfilling weekend. We got up there, and everybody there knew who we were. It took a minute, but they were like, "Holy shit!" And we were actually with Dennis Pana too.
Okay.
And he's big on YouTube. He's a huge on YouTube, and so
I was actually going to reach out to him and see if he wants an interview at some point too.
Good luck, because good luck. He lives in Croatia, and I've been trying to get him on my show, and the time difference is terrible.
I didn't know he was in Croatia.
Yeah, which is something I never thought about doing this. You don't think about time differences, but I mean, I've got the next show that I do for the radio. I've got my buddy Duel. And he was in a band that was local. Well, now he lives in Prague.
Okay.
He went abroad. He went abroad to go to school, and then he's going to come back. And he's done radio for years, and he has podcast. So I'm going to get him to do it, but we have an 8-hour time difference. So when it's noon here, it'll be 7 o'clock there at night. So it's something I never thought about until doing this. It's really a pain in the ass.
Yes. We have a really cool interview coming up next week.
Yeah.
Actually, I have with my Aka Chit Chat, and we had been wanting to get her on any show at some point. Her name's Vice Versa. She's absolutely amazing.
She's based out of Scotland.
Gorgeous. She's like talented, and she's the coolest person, but she's in Scotland. And I was like, how the fuck are we gonna do this?
It's just the stars aligned. She's in America right now, and
yeah, she's stateside. So
I have some incredible interviews coming up. Like, I can't
plug away if you can't. If you want
plug them.
I can't say
if you can. Okay.
You can't say it. Okay.
Damn it.
There are some pretty. I mean, it's amazing. I find it amazing because I don't see myself as, other people see me differently than I see myself because of this band and the things that I've done and the people that I've talked to recently have definitely, I don't know, it's just it's very humbling. And some of the people that I've reached out to that I never thought I'd get a response back, where it's like set to go to talk, and which I'm like, holy shit, how am I going to do this? But I say that every time, before every interview, even with my friends, it's like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this flow into something that people want to watch? But it always works out. And the last one I did was just blowing my mind. The people that are commenting and watching, and It's
I
it's
love it.
cool. I mean, because this is totally new for me. So it's just branching out, trying to do something different in my free time.
Let me ask you something real fast. I actually have two things to ask you, or whatnot. Was it for me? Was it awkward learning to? And I mean this. I'm not being sarcastic or anything. Was it awkward learning to talk to a computer screen? At first when you first started doing it, because for us, that was the learning curve for me.
Yeah.
Was
Well,
it?
I'll talk to the wall, so it wasn't really that hard for me.
Well, I've never been super out there to begin with, so yeah. The worst part about it is when you're talking to somebody and their signal sucks, so they're going in and
Yeah.
out, and it's like, holy shit! This is almost. I don't even know if this is worth posting. But it's different. This whole thing is different for me. I basically am just jumping in head first, because I've been given kind of a cool opportunity. So I mean, whatever comes of it is up to me. So I'm
Exactly.
excited.
The other thing I wanted to bring up here, I was seeing how we
I'm laughing at this.
du hast mich.
Rammstein's been playing out here in LA.
Oh, they did
and
they did their one stadium.
Their
tour here
huge tour, and all my friends went, and I'm jelly.
Yeah,
I heard they sold out of their tour tickets in like 20 minutes.
Pretty
They're
much.
one of the
And
few bands that are like Metallica, where to this day they're still doing arena rock, and that's hard to do in this day and age. But it's the only places where they can bring their entire show, because if you've seen it, it's well worth the price of the tickets.
Pictures.
It's a goal. It's a bucket list to go see them.
My number one bucket list right now at the moment is to see October Noir. That's no joke.
Yeah, no, like we that's why I keep pressing, like, so when are you gonna come to California? Like, you guys gonna come out to California?
Yeah.
Like,
fine,
come on.
Fine. We'll go to Florida and we'll get over there to you guys. We'll just go.
It would, a dream of mine would be if we could all synchronize a 2-week vacation. That
would be awesome.
And just somehow make it work, but
it's hard.
I never say never, though. I mean, if we could bring our people with us, and
Yep.
Are all y'all safe from Ian, like, since all that shit happened? Okay.
Yeah, luckily. Which that's the worst thing about living on the coast. Because in a split second, I mean, in 8 hours you could lose everything.
It's insane to think about. Like, over here on the coast with California, we have some of the coldest waters and everything, because going to the
we just get tsunamis.
That's pretty much it. We get earthquakes and tsunamis, and then those are pretty much it's nothing like the hurricanes you guys get there. It's insane to think about. We have shark attacks too.
Yeah, bull shark attacked someone recently.
Yep.
And I really want to go swimming with sharks, and he doesn't want to let me.
Oh.
Not that he controls me or anything, but he will pull me out of the water.
Yeah, I don't want to swim with sharks.
I want to pet a hammerhead.
If you ever come to I'll not say it, but when you guys finally do get here to California and you go to Long Beach, or not Long Beach, Huntington Beach.
You don't want to swim in
Don't swim in Long Beach. You're going to be swimming with syringes there. But, Huntington Beach, you will have sand sharks right at your feet. And they're nice. They're not mean or anything like that.
They're cute. I was like, hey, Shuffle, because I've been stung by a stingray, and he goes, I think I see one. I go, oh no, that's a shark. He was all, what?
We just have jellyfish everywhere.
Oh, my dad kicked what he thought was a bag, and it was not a bag.
Yeah.
So, you watch our show, or you want to ask?
I was going to ask. Okay. Because I have an interesting way of asking this, and seeing how we haven't brought up. We're a show based on murder and true crime,
and metal
and music and everything like that. Both predominantly true crime and stuff. And excuse me, I burped.
And me, and just us being weirdos.
Which serial killer do you think your music would vibe with the most. Like, that's why I said I was going to ask this in a very interesting way. Like, if you had a serial killer and you're like, dude, I think I made this song for this particular person.
That's a brutal question.
I'm sorry to ask it that way.
That's almost as bad as who's your favorite serial killer, and you're like,
well,
do I have a favorite?
Well, I'm probably going to say Michael Myers because we do have a song called Effigy, and it does have some Michael Myers vibes.
I love Effigy, by the way.
It's got some Halloween vibes to it, so I could say that. And Michael Myers is my favorite, so
that works.
I can't.
And because he's fictional, it's like me.
No, damn it! I want the real ones. I'm kidding.
I want to get Freddy Krueger tattooed on me, like with his glove out, like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember my mom one time was like, "He's a child murderer." I'm like, "He's fictional."
He's fictional.
So
Robert Englund.
He's not real.
Robert Englund actually didn't do any of those things.
So, yeah. So that is not the answer I was expecting, but I didn't know what answer I might be expecting. So,
well, I had to think because the song Effigy is kind of about a killing on Halloween, so that's just what I came up. And also, I just went on a tear and bought like every single Halloween DVD because I get tired of waiting for them to stream, so I just bought them all. So I've been watching those nonstop lately.
Carrie, I used the "Who's your favorite serial killer" thing as pillow talk one time. The answer I got was me. Yeah, I'm not sure how you react to that answer right there.
I'm sorry. Every time October Noir comes on, I have to do something strange. So there we go. If you don't remember, if you didn't know about the first incident,
oh god,
I was so hungry. I thought my mic was off. I was like, all right, let's get this fucking over with.
Let's get this over with.
I didn't mean it. Was like, it's on. I didn't mean to say that. Like, I was like, let's go.
He said, let's get this over with so we can eat. And Tom was like, really?
Tom being Tom.
Really? You want to fucking get this over with so you can eat, huh?
We were already 2 hours.
And he's like, oh, he's just fucking bored with us.
Yeah, Tom is not he's not slow to break your balls at any chance he can.
It's awesome.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved also that he took it in stride. And wasn't like offended by it, even though this one was almost in tears because he felt like he offended.
I was like, I just wanted to go get food. I didn't know it wasn't supposed to be on. I mean, I didn't mean to cuss that way.
It's just the way he said it. So, what do you got to plug right now? Like that you can plug?
Well, I've got the Noir Hour, which is on the radio. It streams on perturbradio.com every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 Central, I guess. Yeah.
So it's 2 hours ahead of us. So that would be
Did
6
I
to 8
spell that
would be 4 o'clock Pacific time.
Yeah.
I did math.
Yeah. I've been looking at so many different time zones trying to figure stuff out. I almost forget what time zone I'm in trying to do the math on this shit.
You said 4 p.m. our time?
Yes. 4 p.m. Pacific.
Which would be 7.
Central would be Eastern. Or Central would be...
Yeah, the Central people can figure their own shit out. Okay? Y'all can figure your own shit out, okay?
Yeah, I get messages from people and they're like, well, if it's on at this time for you, what time is it on for me? And I'm like,
you're like 1 hour. You're 1 hour behind, okay? 1 hour. Count backwards. Aww, he's blushing.
I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to plug on our side. Definitely check it. Go stream our music.
Yes.
I cannot, we have some songs in the tank and I just want to throw them out. I'm like,
I know
But-
you can't.
Oh,
I know you can't.
It's hard.
We've been very blessed with Tom
But
allowing us to do that a couple times.
Yeah.
with the Crimson and Clover after the
When we fucked up and
Well-
couldn't get it to play.
that when everything glitched and we couldn't get the music to play and Doug had to actually hook his phone up and it was like I was like, I'm so sorry guys.
Yeah.
Our end everything messed up. But then like a few weeks later, fast forward a few weeks later, that's when Tom was like, hey guys, here's our cover of Crimson Clover. You guys can totally play this. And I literally on the spot was able to get it to work and we get it to play and everything like that. I was like, this is amazing. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did I do that right? The Noir Hour, Perturbed Radio, every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Does that sound right?
I think so. It's
Cool.
perturb. Not
Perturbed?
perturbed.
Oh, well, so no, I did not do it right.
you
get-
did not do it
but-
right.
People can find it.
Yeah.
Doo-doo. Done.
It's
You guys are on you can find your
So-
music through Spotify, YouTube, all the channels, right?
yeah, everything, Apple Music, all those places.
Mhm.
Oh, I have Apple Music. Now I can actually download it, and then I can force my friends that are on the Apple Music app with me to listen to you guys, and they're gonna love you.
Yeah.
I will make them love you.
Well, I seem to find a way to try to plug it every chance I get. I went to see Demon Hunter, and I got to meet them, and the lead guitarist had on a October Rust shirt.
Nice.
And I had some cards of ours in my wallet, and I'm like, look, you need to check them out. I didn't say it was me or anything. I was like, you really need to check this band out. So
We
You never
do
know.
that too because we have the shirts that Tom sent us, and we were like, we'll wear them every once in a while because so
Every once in a while.
comfy.
I'll
We
wear
wear
them
them all the time. But and we're like, okay, so this shirt is actually iced earth. It says stop being a pussy. So I'm not gonna but like we'll be like people will be like, oh, who's that? I'm like, oh, you gotta fucking check them out. Just go fucking listen to them.
Yep.
Just do it.
well,
You know.
I had no idea, but when I went to see Korn, I was actually wearing one of our band shirts. So when I got backstage to hang out with all of them, I was in my shirt, and Head from Korn, the lead guitarist, he asked about it, which I had met him when I was a lot younger. But he asked about it. You know, of course, he didn't remember me, but he wanted to know about the band, so I got to talk to that a little bit.
Head
So
is
it's
a really
always
nice
cool.
person. He's a
Head's
very,
nice,
very
yeah.
nice person.
He
He
is.
gave me a $15 tip one time because I delivered to his house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When he first left Korn and went on his solo
Mhm.
Christian, he played at a church in my town, and I got to go pick him up from the hotel in my car and take him to the show.
That's right.
Oh, that's
So
so
I was-
cool.
Yeah, I would think I was 21 years old, and I was just freaking the fuck out.
I wouldn't know what to do.
No, because we're just sitting there chit chatting. He was in the passenger seat of my car. I'm like, what do you say? I didn't say much. I know that. I didn't say a whole lot.
Sorry, I was taking a drink.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the
I think we just got a
the
bot
that we just
on
got
Twitch.
on Twitch.
Don't put it up.
No, I'm just laughing at it because at least it's in English. Like, like at least we've gotten a lot of Russian bots and Korean bots lately.
You
So-
know, the first time I actually did
Yeah,
meet
you say, "Oh my god."
Head, it was right when he left the band and moved back here to Bakersfield. Both him and Jonathan I know Jonathan right now does live in the same suburb of our town that Head lived in, and but meeting him for the first time, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he just ordered a small pizza. And I was like, my buddy who I worked with was like, that's Head's address. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, no way. And then I walked up and he's standing there in front of his garage.
enough.
I was like, oh my God, it's you. He's all, yeah. We just talked for a minute, and he's all, hey man, hey, just keep the change. And it was $20 tip. This was like back in 2002 or no, not
Shit,
2002.
That was a long time ago.
It was right
That
when
was
he
a good
first left
tip
the band.
then.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that won't get you just a couple.
I told you guys I'm
Gallons
old.
of You know.
Mhm.
Now that gets you like 2 gallons of gas.
Get you a gallon. Get you a gallon and a half here in California.
That's a lot cheaper here. So,
yeah, see, that's another reason for us to move down south.
Almost
I mean, biggest reason is to be able to go see you guys live.
It's almost $8 a gallon right now. When I put gas in my mom's car today, $8 almost.
It's crazy.
It's insane. But
I mean, I was trying to say that I wanted to go see them live, and you're.
I'm sorry.
Gas, so you know.
Well, I told you I'm older than you guys. I'm gonna talk gas prices and the weather and get out my farmer's almanac and talk about the fields and everything. And
is the water cold and deep too?
I don't know. It's always hot here, but it's a good place to be. I've got a friend. He does a podcast and a YouTube show. He's in El Centro, California, and I'm telling him like, you got to get out of there. You need to come south. Everybody needs to get away from some of that.
It is currently 85 degrees outside, and that is nice for now because it was for the longest time. It hit 121 at one point this summer.
125 was the highest it was this summer in downtown.
Last summer, we had a heat wave that Death Valley hit 133, and we're not all that far from Death Valley.
Hottest place on earth.
Yeah,
it literally is.
I would like to just be cold all the time. That would be great.
Same. Yeah. We have invitations to move to Alaska.
Not that cold.
I would love to take them up on it, like
not that cold.
It's my best friend's sister, and she's like, dude, we have a place that you can stay until you guys get on your feet and everything. And I'm like, I want to.
No, I just like the atmosphere of the southern states and stuff like that. With like, especially when it comes to music,
Memphis in May is the coolest thing I've ever been to.
There's this. I don't know. It's the way your guys' woods are, all this other stuff. It's just so dark, and there's a lot of history there. Everything. It's just amazing. It's a great atmospheric place, and then plus the cost of living is amazing too.
Yeah, if I could be anywhere, I would just be in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
I love Gatlinburg.
Oh,
that's me and my girl. We go up there all the time for vacation. It's just where I went to Nashville a couple of months ago, and that was awesome. So everything about Tennessee has got me all over it.
It's
one of the coolest things that I got to do was Memphis in May. And if you don't know what that is, it's this gigantic festival, but it's not one genre. It is all over the place. So they had like 3-6 Mafia, and then they had some punk bands, and then they had some metal bands, and then they had some blues bands and some freaking country bands and everything. And it was amazing.
Nashville alone with the music scene. It's becoming.
Oh, that was in Memphis.
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Memphis, yeah. But it's becoming a mecca, like for music, and it's not just for country anymore. It's literally for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and
when we were in Nashville, we spent a lot of time at Nudi's bar, and we saw the same band 2 or 3 times, and they were just rocking. I mean, just some of the most talented musicians you've ever seen in your life. Playing old 80s and 90s rock and metal. It's fucking insane. It's spent a lot of money at that bar.
That's always happening. It's just bar. The pubs alone are the places where when I go to a show, that's where I spend the most money. the beers and everything.
By the way, Jake's watching. Hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake.
Sorry, he messaged on the side. He can't chime in for some reason.
Oh.
So
we'll have to go check settings later.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, dude, we have gone over the hour. It has been awesome chatting with you. Thank you so much for coming on our show and plugging everything.
Very last minute too, wasn't it?
Well, it wasn't exactly last minute.
I know. I've said a few times like, "Hey, Tyler, we got to have you on. I'm gonna have you on." And it's been.
He and I have been talking for a couple weeks.
Oh, I get that.
But he, you know. He was under the weather around the same time we were.
Oh yeah, that was
got
terrible.
COVID for the 3rd time or 4th time.
We got COVID for like the 4th time.
I was down for a week.
Yeah. That was the first time that I'd had it, so it wasn't too bad.
No, it for some odd reason with me, it really saps my energy. But other than that, like it's just the ringing in my ear and the lack of sense of smell and stuff like that just gets me like for the week and a half that I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, they kept testing negative, so I just.
Oh no, it was.
You know.
But sorry, my dad moment again.
But yeah, so Kelly says, bye, Tyler. Bye, guys. Thanks for bringing the noir here. I'll be back. Love yous.
Bye.
And again, guys, go check out October Noir on all the music platforms.
Spotify,
Apple Music.
Yeah, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook.
We try to keep it interesting there.
That's
and then also www.octobernoir.org, where you can get merch. And we bought the CD. Like, we were like,
We
wait,
did the
I don't
old-fashioned
even
thing.
have a CD player, but I bought the CD.
We have a CD
Yeah.
player.
Where? I've been looking for it
It's
so I can
it's
play
in
the
the
damn
closet.
CD. We just play it on Spotify.
We just
We play it over and over on Spotify.
Yeah, people love CDs. It's
Mhm.
surprising. I wish we could do vinyl, but it's so fucking expensive. It is so
I know.
expensive.
My
I don't think we
buddy-
could ever be able to justify it. But
You
I'd
know,
buy the
it's
shit out of it.
it's
I
weird
would too.
to think that back in the '90s, vinyls went down so much that
I know.
you were able to buy a vinyl record, or a record for like $1.
Yeah.
And those same records right now, like Celtic Frost and all these black metal bands that stuck with it and put them out on then because they were cheap at the time. Those records now are worth $500, $600, $700. And
I just paid $150 for a Woods v Prey vinyl that you can't find anymore. I paid. I don't want to. I'm not going to get into too much, but I have paid some serious fucking money for
oh,
some of these albums that they'll never be pressed again. And
I'm
if
a-
they do, I'm going to be pissed. But
I'm a big fan of Master's Hammer and they're I forget where they're from. They're from Poland and their music is all black metal, but they're in pirate shirts and all this other stuff. And I paid $100 for their one of their first albums, and I absolutely refuse to take the posters out, anything like that. I was like, I keep all our vinyls. I keep the posters in there and everything. I want them to be pristine.
the most expensive vinyl that I have, it's still wrapped up with the sticker on it, and I cannot spin it. I just can't.
It's
I mean,
and then I'm over here. I was so excited to get a $3 Yngwie Malmsteen vinyl. Like, we found it one day. I was like, I'm getting this motherfucker. And he's all Yngwie. I'm like, fuck yeah, Yngwie.
You know, I have to say this way. People nowadays, it's easy to get vinyls and like what we do now, like, and just put them up, and because you can always go and listen to everything on the internet and be like, okay, I'm just going to listen to. I have this, and I'm going to put it up. But back in the day when we got vinyls, you couldn't. The early 2000s, back in my day, you still had to go listen to it. And like, I had a friend who luckily had everything hooked up right. So what we would do is, I would run my vinyl through his record player to his cassette player, and then get everything
You're
on cassette.
talking like your balls dunk into the toilet when you.
They do.
Like, you're freaking 41, not like 80.
I was
Back
on the,
in my day.
I was on the cusp of back in my day. I can say that I'm 41. You did have to know a guy and get things recorded. That's how it happened. And then you whippersnappers have Spotify now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I just want to say hi to Constance. Also, I hope you're feeling better and healing up.
Well,
But
when I was a kid, I had blank tapes, and I would listen to the radio and record it and make my own mixes and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Yes, same.
That's
like
awesome.
for me, it was K Rock.
Did that
And I
when I
would,
was 7 or 8. When I was just young.
Oh yeah.
Never knew who any of them were. My favorite song when I was a kid was 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh,
But I had no computer, and I'd always listen to see if they would tell me who it was. I think I found out that was the Smashing Pumpkins when I was 16 years old. It took me that long. Just by happenstance.
I have been re-listening to my junior high years, my 6th grade and junior high years. I went back and listened to Nevermind, and it's been 25 years since I listened to that album. I listened to it the other day all the way through, and I still like just flabbergasted of how much that embodied the 90s with grunge and just
And
like
Ace of Base.
Ace of Base. We were listening to Ace of Base today. And then going back and listening to, you brought up Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Listening to like 1979, all that stuff. It's just it was such an amazing era. I don't care what anybody says. The 90s was they so much good music came out in the 90s.
It was the best.
I am and always have been obsessed with Oingo Boingo. I mean, I know it's shocking looking at the so bland makeup that I do and such just natural hair colors.
Yeah.
But I'm
Danny Elfman.
I love Danny Elfman.
All the soundtracks to all the best movies now.
I adore Danny Elfman. I love Oingo Boingo. I used to put Oingo Boingo on my Teddy Ruxpin. And play it. Or when you put I used to put Metallica into my Teddy Ruxpin and push play and fast forward at the same time and laugh because it sounded like chipmunks. And totally wreck the tapes. But like, yeah, the 90s. That was just where it was with music. That's how I was chiming in. I'm sorry.
It was a period of time that was it was transitional is what it was. There was a lot of stuff going on like with CDs and digital music. And a lot of us, especially if you're 5 or 6 then, so you can start remembering and start doing some things. And like, it's insane that you say that, like recording music like that was a thing that we did when I was when I was a kid growing up in the 80s. Like, I got lucky. My parents bought me a cassette player and I did the exact same thing that you did. It was like I heard music on the radio and I wanted stuff like Twisted Sister and everything like that, and then moving on to my junior high years when there's, obviously Nevermind and Green Day and stuff like that coming out, and I transitioned into that. But the 90s was very much a transitional period into digital sound and everything. Sorry.
Susan said huge Radiohead experimental phase and Cake.
Cake was amazing.
The Toadies.
Rubberneck is my favorite, one of my favorite albums of all time. We're having a squirrel moment. Sorry.
It's fun to talk music with somebody who is,
It's
actually a musician. Yeah. And and you get a chance to like really get into the influences that they had when they were younger and everything like that. So I like this kind of conversation.
Yeah. There was quite a while where I wasn't listening to a lot of music, but doing this radio deal, I have been diving into music so much lately. It's almost like I just, when you play music and you're recording all the time and you're trying to work on this idea or that idea, you kind of leave all the other out. So
yeah,
it's Marcy Playground.
Marcy Playground was fun.
Marcy Playground. Harvey Danger.
Sex and violence.
Candy.
Sex and Candy. I'm sorry.
Not the Exploited.
Not the Exploited.
I mean, although like the Exploited, but as you can see from our commercial, Sex and Violence. But yeah, about 20 minutes ago, we tried to say goodbye.
Yeah, we spoiled. I will let y'all go.
No, you're welcome to stay as long as you want, but I figure you're tired. It's a lot later over there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So thank you again.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It's been fun. I've now the whole band has been on.
Yes. And now we got to get all of you together.
Yep.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Even if it means like multiple screens, I don't care.
We can do this.
Yeah.
We can do this.
Well, we're getting back together on stage, and we've been together behind the scenes, so I think we'll make that happen sometime soon.
Tell Tom we miss him.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Make Tom watch this.
He texted me a minute ago and said he was watching. So,
hi, Tom.
I don't know what Doug's doing. I'm sure he's. I don't know. He's probably playing keyboard right now.
Hi, Doug. Even if you're not watching right now, hi. All right. So thank you again. And again, as always, you are always welcome on, and we would love to have all of you on again.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. Have a wonderful night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
We'll see y'all later.
I don't know, set the world I
I have